Alright guys, my name is Goblin. Today is making a very quick discussion video, totally unscripted, just have a thought on top of my head while I was just doing a live stream recently. If you want to watch my live streams, do check me out on Twitch. So, I had this idea, just thinking about how different retail World of Warcraft players are to classic World of Warcraft players. So, in my experience, I have played retail. Recently, I played retail at the launch of Legion quite a lot. And a little bit towards the end of Legion. Normally I play at the start of an expansion event. After 2 months my interest drops off because of a lack of content flow, which is quite a common theme, which is another big discussion that we can have as well. And what I notice about the actual players themselves is that they are very different to classic World of Warcraft players, extremely different. So that's the thing I want to talk about today, is the difference between a retail World of Warcraft player and the classic World of Warcraft player. The differences we're going to be talking about is not less about personality, but what their motivations are. So, you will notice whenever you play retail that pretty much every single person in your guild, in your raid team, they are pretty obsessed. Maybe obsessed is a harsh word. I might be overgeneralizing and stereotyping a lot in this video. When I say retail players are like this, I'm not necessarily saying that all retail players are like that, so do be aware of that. There is going to be generalizations in this video. But what I do notice is most people are quite obsessed and just have a massive interest in, one, cosmetic things. They're always talking in the guild chat about their new mounts, look at this new mount, look at this new transmog, that kind of thing, and they're always talking about how long it's going to take them to get a new transmog. We're even talking about the transmogs they want from the current raid. But a lot of time they are talking about pets as well, pets that they've collected. It seems like a lot of retail players are very interested in being a bit of a collector. So pet collecting, mount collecting, transmog collecting, title collecting, all that kind of thing. And it seems that is what most retail players are very interested in. And I think this is it's kind of a very dark subject, to be honest, because imagine investing loads and loads and loads of your time into playing a video game, farming transmog mounts and pets. You've spent ages farming, for instance, the camel mount in Uldum, or you spent ages farming Ashes of Quel'Dalar, Invincible, Onyxia Drake, that's the only mounts I can think about off the top of my head. I'm sure there's even more time-consuming mount farms. Imagine you've done that farm and you eventually got the mount, and then, how do you quit the game after that, right? If you've invested loads of time to collecting everything, it must feel really sad to decide to quit the game. The game's bad, the content's bad, you're just not as interested in the game anymore, and then you're sat there thinking, oh, but I've invested all this time getting these mounts. Some people might have killed a boss once a week for 2 years just to get one mount, right? And then how does that person quit the game? It must be so difficult for people to quit the game because they're so over-invested into the game. So that's just one of the main reasons why I think World of Warcraft still has a large-ish player base, is because people are overly invested and overly addicted to the game. They just can't quit because they've just done so much. So another big topic could be, obviously retail requires less time investment than classic World of Warcraft. Maybe retail players just simply don't have as much time to actually play the game. But I think that's kind of a weak argument, because one, a lot of the retail players are investing loads of time to do all this collective stuff, and yeah, fair enough, classic is more time consuming. It takes you longer to get to max level, but the point is, every single step, every single level that you level up is supposed to be a journey. It's supposed to be entertaining from step 1 A to Z, whereas in retail, leveling is a chore. You can practically skip it by spending money, recruit a friend, XP buffs, all that kind of thing. It's almost like the leveling is something you just have to get it over with. It's a boring grind, you just have to get it done, right? Which is quite interesting, because I was watching Asmongold's stream a couple of days ago. Someone asked him someone brought up the topic of accessibility. I think that's quite interesting because most people probably think that retail World of Warcraft is more accessible, but really it's not. Because if you think about it, the leveling process is so boring that it's probably less accessible. The leveling in retail is just a massive failure. It has the right ideas, admittedly, with level scaling and stuff like that, but it just kind of fails to be entertaining and interactive and engaging content because your character is simply just too powerful, and it provides absolutely no challenge. Instead of background footage here, I lose quite a lot of health on every single mob pool. Mobs take quite a while to kill, and even though I'm playing a paladin, I can just AFK and watch Doctor Who on the second monitor. It does require a little bit of strategy and thought, you know what I mean? It's a little bit challenging. So, I mean, another thing is, obviously, retail is tailored more towards instant gratification. It seems like a lot of video games have done that, and I think that's probably going to be a very background marketing decision by people who don't actually play video games. I imagine some exec really high up who's not really that interested in video games has probably influenced the gaming industry to become more about instant gratification, because marketing, I've actually worked in marketing, so I do know this. I've done marketing for I've done dental marketing, and I just recently was working as a digital marketer for a university, so I do know the term millennial is floated around a lot in marketing. And basically marketers, they use the millennial concept to market their products. Especially when it comes to digital marketing, because everything is all about instant accessibility. So, but I think that's extended into video games when it actually shouldn't have. So marketing people who don't really know a lot about video games, have probably pressured developers, devs, to make their game be tailored more to millennials, to that instant gratification kind of game design. But what they've done by doing that is they basically just kind of destroyed the concept of an actual video game. Video game is supposed to be about time investment. It's not supposed to be about instant gratification. That's the whole point of playing a video game. It's like reading a book. You read a book or watch a film. You don't expect to find out the end of the book or the end of the film at the beginning, and it's the same with video games. So this transition into instant gratification, it's basically destroyed video games, and it's changed things, and it's kind of hard to discuss, because you can make the argument that retail World of Warcraft appeals more to the millennial impatient kind of audience, but I don't think that's a really solid argument, to be honest, because I think the majority of World of Warcraft's fan base right now probably aren't millennials, for a start. The most of them are just probably so over-invested in the game that they can't quit. That's basically my main argument. I think Classic World of Warcraft is actually more accessible, because you log into Classic World of Warcraft and you go into this massive adventure, and every step is just interesting. You feel a natural sense of progression, and you go on an adventure and it's awesome, and you cannot fault it. It's just interesting from the moment you log into your character, whereas retail isn't. So I would actually make the argument that Classic World of Warcraft is more accessible. I'm probably repeating myself a little bit. That's pretty much the end of the video, end of the discussion. Thanks for stopping by and listening to me ramble until the end of the video. And I've been rambling so long that the background footage has gone off. What I do want to quickly show you, because I want to show you a quick tip, actually. Bonus features, right? Where is that clip? Is it that one? No. I think it's that one. So, bonus tip. If you're leveling a paladin, right, the reason why I'm grinding these mobs, these kobolds, right, is for one reason, and eventually got it. If you look here, I loot something very special from this mob here. It's called the Kobold Mining Shovel. Right, you see that? Kobold Mining Shovel is one of the highest DPS weapons lower level, so I would recommend grinding the kobolds while leveling as a paladin or a warrior, or even a rogue, actually, if you can get maces, to get either the Kobold Mining Mallet or the Kobold Mining Shovel. If you get the Kobold Mining Shovel, I wouldn't wait around trying to get the mining, the mining mallet. I wouldn't write around to get the mining shovel because it's only 2 DPS more, which I discovered a bit too late. I would have just kept the mining mallet, but that's just a little bonus tip. You can get a mining mallet or a mining shovel from the kobold, and I would recommend grinding these mobs to get just a bit of an awesome weapon early on. So anyway, that's where we're going to end the video. My name is Goblin. Until my next video, ciao.